So now Nintendo fans are demanding Nintendo to sue Take-Two, Ubisoft, EA, Project Red, and Microsoft for patent infringement. So basically, this is about patent for Tears of the Kingdom, obviously. And we know there are several games where you can build stuff in games. But again, Nintendo's not own building stuff in games, okay? The problem is, Nintendo with Power World, they're taking it too far. And now Nintendo fans are demanding Nintendo to sue the gaming industry so no one can take anything from Nintendo games, okay? And let's just add Sony to this as well with Astrobot as well, because Nintendo could do it with Astrobot too. Sue Sony for ripping off Mario Galaxy, okay? We joked about games ripping off another, as jokes, like it's funny. Like, oh my god, this game ripped off another game. Oh my god, this game's so similar to another game. But again, they have a right to have games that are similar to each other. For example, if you have a similar game mechanic, for example, there have been so many games that are rip-offs of Minecraft. Okay, it's obvious. So let's look at the App Store. There's so many Minecraft clones. It's not too common to see, but Nintendo can of course take down Microsoft for making Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts came first. So that means Microsoft can actually sue Nintendo for bringing out Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. You see how this horrible, what was I gonna say? Horrible, you know, horrible slippery soap can go. Okay, because Nintendo fans were begging Nintendo to sue Power World. Nintendo finally said, fine, we'll do it. We'll sue Power World, okay? And this is going to set a horrible example for the gaming industry because what if games rip off Ubisoft's model for open world games? So many games have ripped off Ubisoft's open world model. Should Nintendo sue Ubisoft? Should Sega sue Ubisoft? Or should Ubisoft sue Sega and Nintendo? Because Breath of the Wild and Sonic Frontiers and a lot of open world games are based off of Ubisoft's model of an open world game. Okay, should Ubisoft own the model of an open world game? What about looter shooters? So many looter shooters are based off of Borderlands. Okay, based off that franchise, including Destiny, including The Division. Okay, so those games be sued by Take-Two Interactive, or especially the most famous example, Minecraft and Terraria. So Minecraft developers should not sue the developer of Terraria. No, they should not, because those games are allowed to have competition. What Nintendo is doing is suing and banning the competition from the gaming industry, which is, again, trying to create a monopoly in the gaming industry. There is nothing good about this. Say if Nintendo should sue Astro Boy, by that watch Nintendo should sue Astro Boy for infringing on Mario Galaxy and Mario Sunshine and other Nintendo games, because we saw that video of Astrobot being very similar to a lot of Nintendo games. Or how about that Ubisoft game too that ripped out Splatoon? Okay, so Nintendo sued them too? Okay, for being inspired by Splatoon? No, that is not a good idea, and this is a slippery slope you really don't want to go down. Okay, so Nintendo sued Banjo-Kazooie and every 3D platformer for bringing off Mario 64? No, that is a terrible idea. Okay, it is just a slippery slope. You don't want to go that. Nintendo is gonna go down. People are gonna hate Nintendo. People are gonna be distrustful of Nintendo. And of course, Nintendo, when it comes to legal stuff, is probably one of the worst companies in the world because they really sued fans for emulating games. Like now they're suing Power World, they're suing indie developers. That's why Nintendo loves to champion indie games and indie developers until a game is too similar to a Nintendo game. Okay, what about all the indie games that were inspired by Metroid or Mario? Okay, like Hollow Knight. So Nintendo suing Hollow Knight to oblivion, or Cuphead, or all of the indie games, for God forbid, are very similar to Mario. Okay, what about those indie games that that have a similar concept to Mario on on iOS, like Reps World, or that one game where we had played as a Replicon and he hit blocks and stuff? So Nintendo sued them to the ground too. This is a slippery slope that I think Nintendo fans just don't understand is gonna ruin the gaming industry. Okay? Why can't developers are gonna avoid Nintendo's games for inspiration? Okay? Because hey, Nintendo might sue us to oblivion. Nintendo might sue us for oblivion for quote unquote ripping off our patents that they won't disclose to the public, obviously. But how are we supposed to know? Nintendo won't disclose these to the public. Okay, I think they have to disclose, but yeah, Nintendo won't disclose what games are developed until they announce them. How are we supposed to know? How are us any developer supposed to know? And the whole thing is about Pokemon. Okay, what about all the other games that are similar to Pokemon? Digimon, Yokai Watch, are they next? Okay, that's the question we have to be asking. Is Digimon next? Digimon has been around at the same time as Pokemon. But a lot of people have accused, especially Pokemon fanboys, have accused Digimon of ripping off Pokemon. Okay? Same thing with Yokai Watch. That's the other one. People have accused Yokai Watch of ripping off Pokemon. Okay? Of trying to steal Pokemon's popularity. But Nintendo has never sued those companies because they are considered as competition, as cricket-catching games to Pokemon. Okay? But why do now all of a sudden Power World has to be removed? Why does Power World have to be removed, but Digimon and Yokai Watch today? This is the slippery slope we're talking about. Okay? What if the next? I don't know if there's any fans of Yokai Watch out there, but Digimon is especially really big. A lot of people love Digimon. A lot of people grew up on Digimon, especially the Digimon cartoon. As well, the Digimon, characters. A lot of people love Digimon. Well, if Nintendo said one day, okay, we're suing Digimon because Digimon is a ripoff of Pokemon. Okay? We run against Power scenario. Nintendo wins against Power World. So Nintendo sues the Digimon creators. And this is the slippery slope I am talking about. That is going to ruin the gaming industry. Okay? It is going to ruin the gaming industry because Nintendo could sue any game that's a rip-off of their IPs. Okay? Nintendo could claim anything. For example, Nintendo could sue Sega for ripping off Mario Party with Sonic Shuffle. Okay? Or the various Mario Party clones out there. Because there are several Mario Party clones out there, including Sonic themselves. Nintendo could technically sue Sonic for being a platformer. You see this slippery slope we're talking about here? Okay? This is a very bad idea. Okay, they don't have any grounds of Sonic, but Nintendo could, especially Nintendo could sue Sega for ripping off Mario Kart with Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. They probably won't because Sega and Nintendo are great buddies and corporations. Okay, heck, there's a possibility Sega might put Sonic in Mario Kart for all we know. And Nintendo even let Sonic into Super Smash Bros. As well. And there's a possibility Sonic may be let into Mario Kart someday as well. And also Mario and Sonic also competed the Olympics together. So I don't really think Mario and Sonic have any beef with each other. But again, with Power World, Nintendo, always champions indie games. Always talks about how great they are. They even have a whole presentation about how great indie games are. Okay? But now Nintendo is going after indie games, which is the most ironic part out of it because they ripped off the Pokemon series. And yep, that is about this video here. Goodbye.